for today. I took 17 videos, and I can only, on my phone, I can only upload pictures to YouTube that are a minute or less. So that's going to cut a bunch of those out. So I did some touring for Cole's Corner so that she can see what it is that I find so fascinating out there. There we go. I'm trying to look at my computer. Hi, Cole's Corner. So I have not posted any of the videos that I took yet, but I've sent them all to Cole's Corner. Well, except one, because it's about the neighbor, and you don't need to deal with that, or whatever. So I am going to go ahead and because I like to do that, and that means that I get at least one like on my videos. So yeah, I was not as responsible as I should have been last night. Nowhere near as responsible as I should have been. I didn't even attempt to sleep until about 4:30 in the morning. And heard my son get woken up. I heard his wake up bellow. So, because he had to get up and get ready for work, and excuse me. I had fast food today, and got the burps. So, yeah, I got a wake-up call around 9:30, so that was nice. I was actually allowed to sleep in past 8. Okay, so my cousin put some stuff on Facebook. Yay. Yeah, I took a few videos about, just looking at the lay of the land, and my hair's bugging me as usual. There we go. It looks worse than ever. Yay. I am probably not going to go live on Tuesday because Louis Lecca from Nerd Report is doing his birthday stream, which is 6 days early. He's going to do that on November 1st, and his birthday is November 7th, which is the same as my brother's. So it's exciting to have somebody celebrating a birthday on that day that actually, celebrates. So, yeah, I got up at about 9:30, and I had trouble finding one thing, but it was the most important thing that we needed, and that was my wallet, so I could do my contribution for gas money. So, when you commit to contribute a certain amount, and the person driving, who usually pays for everything, says sure, then you kind of have to back it up. So the dumbest thing I did today was not bring my water with me. Doesn't mean I didn't have anything to drink. I did most of my hydrating with orange juice. So I've had orange juice sitting around for a while since I had my sinus cold, and thought, can chill it in the great outdoors, and then, drink it. And I did. I drank most of it. I have probably about half a normal size cup left. So, I did kind of perk it up a little bit. I added some 7-Up to it. So, that was exciting. That's what I add to my drinks. I add pop just to give it that little bit of, the carbonation. So, not sure how many videos I'm going to post from the middle of nowhere. Most likely all of them that are less than a minute. I did end up deleting a video, and it was kind of funny because I was scanning the trees, not the tree line, but the trees, to see if we could find any nests or any other leaves on the trees. And I even took into account that the sun was shining from that away, and I moved the camera down so that I didn't get a blast of sunlight in the lens. And then I turned around and took a good look at what I was at what was in the picture, and the license plate on the vehicle that we were driving down there. Nice close up, perfectly crisp. So I deleted it so that I didn't accidentally post it, because I didn't get a ride out there so that I could, share that kind of personal information. Speaking of personal information, I play a lot of games on my phone, and a lot of the games that I play require watching ads. And there are so many ads. Well, I already deleted it. And if I knew how to do that, then I probably, I'm definitely not a professional yet. I don't know how to do any editing, which I would love to learn how to do, but I want to get a better computer. I don't want my computer to hear me, criticizing it. Because if it hears that, then it might not work right for me. Okay, that is getting very shaky. Yes, if I do get a new computer, then I'll be able to do live streaming directly onto the computer and be able to, edit and do other stuff. Because, I know it's possible to download a video or upload a video, post a video that's longer than a minute that isn't alive, but I don't know how. So, I guess right now, the best I can do is do a live, and then I attempted to edit one of my live videos because I accidentally turned the camera around, and you saw how messy my room is. So, yeah, it was a very, it was kind of an oops moment. My screen has been picking up, it's been saying that somebody's been touching it when nobody's touching it. So, one stream I took the case off of my phone, and it got a little more sensitive. So, I didn't deliberately switch the view of the camera, but it did happen, and I was not able to edit that out. So I haven't given up learning, but I kind of need somebody to walk me through it. So I have my charger at the ready. I'm going to get my little handy dandy helper here, put it on the computer, turn, and pull it off the computer. That's handy. There we go. Oh, I don't want to push those buttons. And that would be why a lot of the times trying to adjust the little, what do you call it? The coil. Turn more. That's not helping. I turned it the wrong way. Okay. Adjust. No. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Okay. The picture looks different when I look in my phone and when I look at the computer. So, and, keep forgetting it's on the other side. I see a mirror image, and then off to the side in the computer, that looks even worse. Then I see the way you see it, and yeah, it's very fun. So I'm hoping that holding this is better and a little less shaky. So. My cousin's wife just commented on what he posted. That's always fun. Yeah. But watching those YouTube videos, well, first I'd have to find the helping videos, and then I'd have to actually watch them and, you know, kind of be able to execute at the same time. So having 2 laptops would definitely help. So I took a very short video on our way home just after we got, I think we were still on the road that goes around the city. So we were still basically going highway speeds, and yeah, just did a short video saying that I was back to, you know, life as I know it. Because, you know, excuse me, back to almost home. So I had an epiphany today. I like going to mom and pop places. So when we stopped for our bathroom break before we got to the middle of nowhere, yeah, we had Burger King. So, I don't really, you know, I don't like their fries as much. So instead of getting their fries, I got mozzarella sticks. And, I figured out how to make mozzarella sticks better. And that would be to use cheddar cheese instead of mozzarella. I think that would make them so much better. I'm a bigger fan of cheddar than I am of mozzarella. So, and I only like mozzarella when it's melted. So that kind of puts a damper on me eating cold pizza. Because, you know, it tastes better when cheese is melted. So, I kind of like Swiss cheese when it's melted. Yeah, but cheddar's the best. You can have it melted, you can have it not melted. And, you know, most string cheese, at least what I get for string cheese, is cheddar. So, and I don't get it very often because the grand boys would want that, and they don't know how to play with it yet. So, when they want cheese, they attack the cheese, but when they don't want cheese, then it's absolutely not. Get that stuff away from me kind of no. So, which makes sense for the one who was tested for autism, but doesn't really make sense for the other one. He's just he's tired of being the one who'll eat anything. He's starting to be a picky eater. So I had some fried rice the other day, and it had barbecue pork in it, and eggs, and peas, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else in there. Oh, there was shrimp. Now, somebody else tried to get him to have some shrimp, and he took one look at it and said, absolutely not. And then he started eating from Gran, and he would tell me, like, he would show me, I want that, and he would point to usually the barbecue pork, but sometimes egg, sometimes rice, sometimes peas, except he didn't call them peas, he called them pickles. So, not things that are usually interchangeable, like, those words are not synonymous. So, but, he's 3. He sees something green, if he's going to call it a pickle, I knew what he was referring to. Excuse me again. So, yeah, that was fun. I think the only time that I had to struggle with him to get him to eat something was when he wanted a different item. And I would say on the fork, but I was using chopsticks. And, my grandchildren are pretty good with accepting food from chopsticks, so they don't know how to use them yet, but that may come with time, or they'll just use forks, because, I like using chopsticks. I prefer to use chopsticks. So, yeah, when he wanted something that I wasn't offering him, generally the rice. Normally he loves rice, but for some reason he just wasn't into the rice that day. And, if most of what he wanted was the barbecue pork, which I don't blame him, it's amazing. But I don't like sharing my barbecue pork, so. The first time I went to, what was that called? I remembered what it was that was ordered by Ken Kostick from me. It was a quesadilla. I remembered it probably about 5 o'clock this morning. Trying to sleep, and all of a sudden the word popped into my head and out of my mouth, and I don't know if anybody heard, so. Right, now I forgot what I was talking about. Chopsticks, thank you. Yeah, there are people who don't know how to use chopsticks. So what I tell people is you take your dominant hand and you hold one of them like a pencil, and the other one, like, you hold the one that's going to stay still between your thumb and your finger, and then you move the other one with your other finger, and you just act like you're eating with your fingers, but your fingers don't get, sticky or wet, or, you don't put your fingers in your mouth. You just put the sticks in your mouth. So, my theory, which I've been very adamantly told is 100% wrong, was that chopsticks came about just out of convenience. If you're wandering around in the woods and you're trying to survive and you get something that you want to eat, where are you going to find a fork in the middle of the wilderness? But there's trees in the middle of the wilderness. You get 2 little twigs, and you don't have to put your hands in your mouth. But I've been told in no uncertain terms, in very specific terms, that is absolutely 100% not how it happened. I like my way of thinking better, because it's more fun. So, speaking of my way of thinking and things being more fun, there's more than one way to get out to what I call the middle of nowhere. And one of the ways that we go, we haven't gone for a while, but we pass a town called Ardrossan. And there's a divided highway as you pass Ardrossan. And in the middle of the divided highway is a cemetery. Now, my way of thinking, I would like to think that some eccentric people were driving through, rural Alberta, and one of them decided, stop right here. I want to be buried right there. But it's the middle of the highway. There's highway on both sides of it. I don't care. That's where I want to be buried. We're going to start a cemetery and I'm going to be the first one there. That's my way of thinking. But my father told me that realistically, that cemetery, what more than likely happened is the cemetery was there, and rather than move the cemetery, and rather than reroute the whole highway, they have, you go east on the left and west on the right. So, I don't know. I just like to think that it was somebody who said, this is what I want. Make it happen. So, but, realistically, who wants to move a cemetery? Ew. They're there. They need to be left in peace. So, I don't know. I know that a lot of highways move, but, well, at least they do in Canada. When they were deciding what kind of buildings to build out there and how many and where and all sorts of stuff, my dad and my grandmother went to some official place, and they were told that any buildings had to be a minimum of 100 meters away from the existing road or the fence line, one or the other. And that was just in case somebody decided to move the road. So, the way to get into my middle of nowhere, there is only one way in. Well, I guess there's two ways, but I've gone as far. What direction is that? I think it's south. I've gone pretty far south on that road, if that is the direction, and haven't found anything other than a rock quarry, a gravel pit, something like that. A place where big trucks come and get rocks and then they drive away. So, and they kind of come down a dirt road and then they turn left. Because, coming this way, that's left, and then this is right. And when you go right, there is our land, and then the neighbor that doesn't count, and then there's the way into the back, which is still our land, but not what I'm using, because I've only gotten permission to use the part that I call the middle of nowhere, which I guess I should change to the edge of nowhere, because it's like it's like the front right corner. We met a sheep farmer today. He was new to the area, him and his wife. They just bought a place out there. And, small town Alberta, small town hospitality. Somebody heard that they needed some either hay baled or hay bales. And it was either done for them or the hay bales brought to them. And they weren't there at the time. And they were trying to track down the person who had done the baling. So they knew a first name, which didn't help me because I don't know anybody out there. I knew it wasn't me. That's about all that I could tell them, is that it wasn't me and it wasn't the neighbor that doesn't count, because it was a different first name. So it was very exciting. We chatted with him for a little bit. Oh, excuse me. And then I had told him that, because he was going to keep looking for this person, I told him that he should probably just turn around, because he parked basically right in front of our gate opening. I told him that he should use our driveway, I don't know, for lack of a better term, driveway, to turn around, because the person down at the end of the road has a gate up across the county road. So I don't think that's legal, but that's, my dad gets to deal with that. I don't have to. We're just sending the pictures to my dad. And then he gets to deal with it. So it would be easier for this guy to turn around there than to try and figure out how to turn around or have to back out however long that portion of the road is. So, yeah. And when he turned around, his wife was in the vehicle, and I'm like, why did you make her wait in the truck? So, yeah, they're new to country living. So they were trying to find somebody to have coffee with. And we don't live out there. We just go out there once in a while and cut grass. All I did today was pay for gas and take videos. So, Cole's Corner, I think I sent them to you in the order that I shot them, because I went down in my list of videos and sent 2 at a time until I was almost done, and there were 5 left. So then I sent 3, and then the last 2. So the one that starts blue and orange, you're gonna get a kick out of. So it was a pretty good day. I didn't have to get up, at 7 o'clock when I didn't fall asleep until after 5. That was nice. And it was kind of interesting. I did little things to help out. I didn't do any grass cutting today. The driver, we'll call him, he's in at least one of the videos. The end of the day video. I like to just kind of stand in one spot and turn around and give a 360 view of what I would see. So, yeah, but I can't post all of them because some of them are a lot of them are over a minute. So, until I learn how to do that, then they're just to be shared through Messenger. I can't even text them when they're under a minute, because it's very interesting, because it's too big. for my phone to text. The fireworks videos, the person who was actually shooting the videos wasn't me, because I don't like loud noises, and I didn't want to, excuse me, I didn't want to have, it's hard to plug your ears when you're shooting a video, so I accidentally mucked up my phone. There. Yeah, so I had asked somebody else to do those videos, and I don't know how she was holding my phone in the first video, but you have to watch, you have to hold my phone very carefully in order to see the full picture. Otherwise it just, goes really skinny in the middle of the screen. Excuse me. So her only instructions for shooting that video were, I can't post them if they're over a minute. So, yeah, watch those again today, because I may have found a spot that was growing over that we had a box of fireworks kind of jumping. It was a lot more powerful than just light it and leave it. So it was very interesting. And we were extremely lucky because there were some fireworks that were sent basically just straight out. Straight out to the right, straight out to the left. And that was basically the box flipping that way and then shooting that way and then flipping the other way and then shooting the other way. So we got extremely lucky that they did not go to where people were. They didn't go straight back to the neighbor that doesn't count because he was home. And I just plugged in my phone, so I don't know if that did anything to the video. Yeah, we, the ones that shot off to the side basically went right into clumps of trees, and we did stay around long enough to make sure that nothing was gonna, we didn't start a fire. At least we didn't start an unintentional fire. We had a burn barrel going, because we ate out there and had marshmallows and all that fun stuff. That wasn't today, though. That was when we did the fireworks, and that was either the end of July or the beginning of August. So, well, mid-August. I don't know. Before my daughter's birthday. What day did her birthday fall on this year? I don't remember. But I showed my parents the fireworks videos when they were here for my daughter's birthday. And, oh wait, the 21st is my grandson's birthday. And her birthday is 3 days before that, so her birthday was probably on Thursday. So we would have had, I believe we had her birthday celebration the weekend before her birthday. And did a little mini get together for the grandson's 3rd birthday. So, just fun. Just having fun. That's what birthdays are for when you're under 10 years old. So, it was very exciting. I had a pretty exciting summer. Got to go out to the middle of nowhere a few times. Got to experience a private fireworks show. And more fireworks have been purchased, but we're not going to set them off this year. So, because we're more than likely not going to go back out there until after the dreaded winter season is over. It usually ends. Yeah, I had a birthday this summer too. Um, that dread cold season usually ends March or April. But since I worked from February to the end of April, or possibly the beginning of May, we most likely won't be going back out there until at least I'm done work. So at least I'm not contributing to gas money if I'm not going out there. So yeah. I had a dream about going back to work and, excuse me. Yes, winter sucks. As long as it holds out until at least Tuesday. I've learned that I have to be very specific what I would really want to happen, because I don't want that white ground covering until after Halloween. If we can make it until, November 1st at least, then it'll be good, because the grandchildren are more than likely going to be going trick-or-treating around here and then possibly other places. And I think the little one will actually participate this year instead of coming to Gran and Papa's and staying with Gran and Papa. Excuse me. But I have a tentative plan in case he wants to do that again. And that would be to have either Gran or Papa, whichever one he chooses, go with them. So I like handing out candy. I have fun with it. Make the older kids do silly things so that, they, realize that it's for younger kids, not necessarily for high school students or older. So, yes. There was one year where I had retried on my wedding dress, and I could still get it on and get it done up, and it had 8,000,003 buttons on it, so I couldn't actually do up all the buttons myself. But I was going to be the runaway bride that year, and then it was too slushy and ewy and gooey. I wasn't going to do that to my wedding dress. So, I mean, I had girls to pass it down to, but it's so out of style. It was pretty much out of style when I got it, but I had my choices. I had narrowed down to 2 dresses, and then I wasn't aware that the groom was not supposed to see the dress until the actual wedding. So I had my groom help me decide which dress to get. So, yeah, that was how I wound up getting the dress that I did. So I don't know if he said get that one to the first one he saw, or if he actually looked at me in both of them. But, can't go back and change that now. So, I don't know, Cole's Corner. What would you change about your wedding if you could? So, I just, have some snarky answers to that question. Yeah, families are fun. We didn't have a separate reception for our wedding. we got married in a church, and we were within the first 10 weddings in that church, in the new location. And so we just basically had coffee and cake and, little treats afterwards. So, what were our restrictions? We could not have wine because it was in the church, and we could not have any red or I think it was purple drinks. So, I think the only children that were there, I seem to remember somebody holding a baby, but it could have been mine. My nieces were there, and they were, I think, 8 and 10. I don't remember. They were a lot littler than they are now. So, yeah, I remember the first time that I had met the extended family on my husband's side. I was probably the most vain I had ever been. I was already expecting my first child, and I was kind of panicking because I didn't want the nieces to think that I was always this big. And then after I had my child and proceeded to have 2 more, I never lost the weight. So panicked for vanity, and that was about it. So what else? Next year is going to be a big birthday, so I really want to get together with other like-aged people, so that we can have a big to-do. Not necessarily a big fancy thing, but end the evening in fireworks, and either let people spend the night, or yeah, that's what I said to your dad when I was helping out with your daughter's wedding, is that I went to the one that didn't count. And I really wish I would have tried harder to get out to the one that does count. So, the one that you're actually happy with. Growl, grumble, make faces. I hear ya. So, yeah. Families are very fun things, aren't they? So, yeah, I think that if we can get enough people out there, it can be as long as we want it, basically. I would probably have to be one of the last people to leave, just to make sure everything's locked up. When you look at those videos, you'll see what we currently have for shelters, shall we say? Yeah, the buildings that are out there are not that big. So, yeah, I had fun today, and planning on having fun next year too. I was walking through the grass. The grass that had been cut previously was, a little bit of it was a little higher than my shoes. So, I ventured through the tall grass to the outhouse and did a video in there, which I'm not posting because I'm pretty sure it's too long to post. Excuse me. And, I caught one of those little twigs with the burrs on it. Got caught right under the tongue of my shoe, and I didn't realize that, and I just moved, so I got all the burrs from that branch in my shoe, stuck to my sock. And one of them, as I was making my way back to the vehicle to, take off the shoe and pick off the burrs and all the remnants of them, one of them went down, fell down, and it was right by the arch of my foot. I have very sensitive feet. So it stems from being tickled a lot when I was a kid. And so, yeah, if you're going to tickle me, don't tickle my feet because you're likely to get kicked. So, warn anybody who tickles my feet. And then, if they end up getting kicked, then it's their fault. Although, my grandson was tickling my foot and I tried really, really hard not to kick because that's an instinctive reaction by this point. But we had some family members who thought they were really funny, and they would grab my foot and basically hold me up by my feet and tickle them. So sometimes the "I'm gonna pee" actually got them to stop tickling me. But not always. Sometimes they wanted proof. Love it when people think they're funny. So, yeah. I really want my grandsons to go to a big family gathering, but the people who would do the big family gatherings are, not getting any younger, and, those health issues do not go away because you don't want to pay attention to them. So, learning that the hard way. So, yeah. I just, don't want the first big family event that my little grandson remembers to be a non-happy occasion. So, I can only hope. Well, Christmas is coming. If we all try and contribute, then maybe we can do something. But, everything is so up in the air with all these health issues. Because, my parents' generation, they are, if they're not already in their 70s, they're really darn close. So, not getting any younger. And, my generation, we just kind of let the older generation do it. And, it's not really fair. But that's been our tradition. Basically since my grandma stopped doing brunch, and my aunt basically took over Christmas, and every Christmas was there. So, and then the world shut down. And then the health issues started. Well, they didn't start, but they were discovered. So, these are health issues that are easier to deal with if you pay attention when it's early. No, it's not me. It's other family members that are having health issues. I can talk to you about that when we're not online. So, I'm not gonna post any information about that just because I haven't been told a lot, and the questions that I've asked to immediate family members, they don't know all the answers. And I think they may have known more answers than what they gave me, but they were probably told not to tell certain information. So, we'll just leave it at nobody's getting any younger. So, I'm just one day at a time. The little grandchild. A lot of my family did come to my daughter's wedding. And I wish we got a picture of my mother with my children's other grandmother, but that didn't happen, and she didn't go to the reception. So, I mean, the father of my children, his mother was around the age of my grandmother. So, there's a bit of an age gap between the two of us. So, and I've done the math. It's not as much as the age gap between my grandparents. So, the grandparents that I actually knew both of. So, yeah. I think that I am going to go through the videos that I took today and post some of them and see if I can, kind of cut one in half and maybe post it as two, because there's one that's like 2 minutes and 4 seconds or something. So, yeah. The last video that I took before we got home was very blurry. So, and I have to listen to it to see if the radio was on in the background. So I have to see if we could actually hear the song that was playing, because if we can, then I might not be able to post it. So, because it's more than 3 seconds. And I was not singing along during that. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a safe day. See you next time. Lots of respect. Bye.